Hi everyone, it's Lesley from Hungry Heavy Crafts, and I have another Valentine's cards to share with you today. Sorry, I'm going a little bit over the top, but they're so fun. And also, I wanted to experiment using some of the hand lettering that I've been practicing. I'm using some watercolor cardstock here, and I've taped it to my craft mat using some washi tape to make sure that when I wet the card with some clean water, it doesn't buckle and it gives me a bit more of a sturdy surface to work on. Because the paper, the cardstock here, the watercolor cardstock is wet, when I touch my paintbrush to the surface, it really sucks up and absorbs the paint and it gives a lovely soft finish. So if you haven't tried this when you're watercoloring, you really need to try it. It's so fun. In between the layers, I am drying my project using a heat tool. And that just speeds along the process. You can let it dry naturally and it gives a slightly different look. Some prefer the look of when it's dried naturally, but I tend to be a little impatient, so I used my heat tool this time. Now I'm coming in with a paintbrush and some clean water, and I'm drawing a heart with the water and filling it in. And this means when I come back onto my project with some of the darker pink color and tap my paintbrush onto the surface, it travels along where the water is, and it's a really simple way and effective way to build up a shape on your project. Now our project is dry, I'm going to move on to the grating. This is an embossing pen. It has a bullet nib and a chisel tip, and I'm going to simply write the word Valentine using the bullet nib. I've been participating in a hand lettering challenge over on Instagram, so I'm getting a bit braver and I've been practicing, so I thought I'd add it onto the project today. I've added some liquid platinum embossing powder from Ranger on top. I really love this embossing powder. It's almost gold, it's almost silver, it's so pretty, and it works really well with the pink. One of my favorite things to do is to use the stamps that I have to build up gratings that I don't have. So I've used a stamp from October Afternoon called, the stamp set is called Kite Tails, and the stamp says My Best Friend. And I've used that to build up the rest of my greeting. So now it says Be My Valentine. I'm going to cut this down to a card size using the Stitch Rectangles die from Lawn Fun, and I'm also using another Lawn Fun die set. This is the Hearts die set, and I'm going to be cutting out little hearts from my panel. So I'm just positioning them exactly where I want them to be and holding them in place with a little teeny bit of washi tape, and then I'll run that through my Cuttlebug. So I'm going to do that twice because I want a selection of different sizes, but I am actually keeping the die cut pieces safe because I'll be adding them back onto my card shortly. And in the meantime, I will cut out of Funky Foam the same number of hearts using the same dies. So let's assemble the card now. I'm using a standard size card blank, and I'm going to stick it all together using some Tombow Mono adhesive. So I've stuck the panel down. I'm adding a little bit more of the glue in those where the die cut hearts are, and then I'll pop these foam pieces on top. I'll give that a few seconds to dry, and then adding some more of that Tombow Mono adhesive on top to pop these pink hearts back on top again. This gives a really subtle texture and dimension to the card. When you look at the card face on, you can hardly notice that they're there. If you look at an angle, you can see them a bit more prominently. So I'm adding a little bit of Wink of Stella, the clear Wink of Stella pen, and I'm also creating a puddle of Wink of Stella onto an acrylic block and shaking that on the top. And that's just to bring more of that sparkle throughout the card. So here you have it. This is the finished card. It's really simple. There's not an awful lot of work to it, but it is fun, and I think the pink against that shimmer looks so beautiful. Thanks for watching the video today. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up and hop on over to Hungry Heavy Crafts for more fun and crafty goodness. Bye!